Okay, so let's jump right in. What if I told you that inside every single company, there's a literal treasure trove of brilliant ideas just sitting there, waiting to be found? Well, this explainer, this is your map to that treasure. Just think about it for a second. The combined knowledge, all those daily experiences, the quiet little insights of every single one of your employees, that is a massive, untapped gold mine. We're talking about a resource that can totally change the game for a business, but for most, it just stays hidden right below the surface.
So I have to ask you, are the really game-changing ideas in your organization getting lost in the shuffle? Are they just stuck in someone's head because they don't feel comfortable speaking up? Or maybe there's just no system to catch them. It's a way more common problem than you'd think.
Now, before we get into the how, we really need to get our heads around the why. Because building a culture where people share ideas isn't just some feel-good, nice-to-have thing. No, it's a core business strategy that delivers some seriously tangible results.
This right here from Maria Haryutinyan really hits the nail on the head. It's a true strategic advantage. When you actually empower your team to share what's on their mind, you unlock this wave of innovation that can drive real, measurable growth. So let's break down what that actually looks like.
First off, you spark genuine innovation. See, a single idea on its own might be good, sure, but it's when people are encouraged to build on it, to challenge it, to bring their own unique perspectives, that's when the real breakthrough thinking happens. It completely changes problem solving from a lonely chore into this super dynamic, creative process. Second, you create incredible value for your customers. I mean, think about it. Your frontline staff, they are your eyes and ears on the ground. They hear all the unfiltered frustrations and the brilliant suggestions from customers day in and day out. Capturing their ideas isn't just helpful, it is the most direct path you have to improving your service and building some seriously fierce loyalty. And third, it is a huge boost for morale. One of the biggest drivers of employee engagement isn't just about the paycheck, it's about feeling valued. When you build a system that proves, hey, your voice really matters here, people become so much more connected, more invested, and honestly, they're way more likely to stick around for the long haul. And yep, finally, all of this stuff directly hits the bottom line. Better processes, smarter ways to save money, happier customers who keep coming back, it all translates into increased revenue. So here's the takeaway. Investing in idea sharing is probably one of the smartest long-term investments you can possibly make.
Okay, so you're sold on the why. Now for the fun part, the how. Let's dive into the practical blueprint for building what we'll call an idea-first culture, a place where great ideas don't just survive, they actually thrive.
This whole framework is built on 6 key pillars, everything from the work environment itself to the tools you give people. Now, we're going to zoom in on 3 of the most powerful ones you can start thinking about today: the environment, anonymity, and celebration.
All right, let's start with the absolute foundation, the environment. If people are afraid to fail, they will never take risks. And innovation, well, it's all about taking smart, calculated risks. You have to make it crystal clear that mistakes aren't just tolerated, they're seen as a necessary part of learning and growing. That is how you build trust. Next up, let's talk about the power of anonymity. Look, not everyone is an extrovert who loves being in the spotlight. Anonymous platforms are so crucial because they give a safe channel to the quieter, more introverted folks on your team who might have absolutely brilliant insights but would hesitate to share them in a big public meeting. And this is so important. If you only reward the one winning idea out of 100, what does that do? It discourages the other 99 people from even trying again. You've got to celebrate the act of participating itself. Thank people publicly for contributing. This reinforces the exact behavior you want to see, and it keeps that pipeline of ideas flowing. So, a great culture is the engine, right? But you still need the right vehicle to make it all work, especially these days with remote and hybrid teams all over the place. And that's where technology comes in to really formalize and streamline the whole process.
The key tool we're talking about here is a modern intranet. But don't think of some old, clunky company website. Think of it more like a digital headquarters for ideas. It's one central place where anyone, full-time, remote, even freelancers, can submit an idea, see exactly what happens to it, and work on it with others.
And it's so effective because of its core features. You get 24/7 access, which just smashes down barriers like time zones and location. You get transparent tracking, so ideas don't just vanish into a black hole anymore. Plus, you got social features to connect the right people, and even dedicated workspaces to turn those little sparks of ideas into actual projects. It's the whole shebang.
Okay, so let's pull it all together now. When you combine that right culture with the right tools, you kickstart this incredibly powerful transformation. You actually move your team from being a group of silent individuals into a true, bona fide innovation engine.
When it comes down to it, you're looking at two very different paths. Over on the left, you've got this suggestion graveyard. That's where ideas go to die, and pretty soon, employees just check out. But on the right, you have the idea factory, where transparency and feedback fuel this constant cycle of improvement, and innovation becomes a core part of how you do business. The choice is pretty stark, but the reward is immense.
So we'll end on this thought. That multi-million-dollar idea, that elegant solution to that super nagging problem, that next big breakthrough for your business, it's probably already there, right now, waiting inside the mind of one of your team members. The only question left is, are you creating the space to listen?